One Percenter Podcast with Sam Bakhtiar, bringing you the 1% knowledge to help you reach your full potential. Learn what it takes to rise above the 99% and become a 1%er.
Hello guys, welcome to the One Percenter Podcast. This is Sam Bakhtiar, your host, and today I have my friend Tommy Rodriguez all the way from Florida in the house. He just flew down for the podcast. Thank you so much for being on the show, brother. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you having me.
Now, Tommy, grew up in Boston, with a single mom. As he was growing up, he got in various trouble. As I did too. You grew up without a dad, a single mom, and I feel a lot of your thing. Yeah. And then all of a sudden one day, mom had enough. Said, "You need to grow up. You need to man the fuck up." She basically kicked you out when you were 17.
Yes.
During the winter in Boston.
It's cold.
And you had to go out there trying to, kind of fiend for yourself. And then at one time you started getting jobs and you pretty much tried everything. One of your famous quotes is, you had more jobs than you had birthdays.
Yeah, rough times.
Rough times. And then you finally started your entrepreneurial journey, and that's what we want to talk about. I want to talk about your entrepreneurial journey, where you at right now, because you run a very, very successful coaching program. You help people on Amazon, and you set up their whole thing. You have a system that they don't have to do anything. People can literally build passive income from your Amazon stores that you set up and all that kind of stuff, which I'm all about passive income, you know me. And so let's dive into it, man. I'm going to just shut up right now and let you talk from the beginning and go all the way through.
Want to start with my story?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so as Sam said, I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, and my father wasn't in the picture a lot, maybe my very young years. And throughout my whole teenage years, I was getting into fights. I had a couple breaking and enterings into a couple houses.
No, just a couple. No big deal.
just a few. And I learned real quick, though, speeding up through, going in and out of juvie, through all that trouble. By the time I was 17, I pretty much hit rock bottom, where my mother pretty much said exactly what you said, is that you're going to have to learn how to grow up. You're going to have to be a man. She just couldn't see that, because it kept breaking her heart, the fact that I was just getting into trouble too much. So she's like, you got to go. You're not going to live under this roof. You're not going to live here. So she kicked me out, and it was I believe it was September, October, pretty much almost in the middle of winter. And, at that point, I was trying to reach out to people who I knew and they couldn't allow me to stay over either, because their parents didn't want me to stay over there. So they would sneak me into their hallways, and there would be points where I'd get up at 5 a.m., try to walk the streets, try to find somewhere else where I could go before their parents catch me. And I was sneaking into the laundromats, and I was just trying to do anything to stay warm. I was trying to survive at that point. And it was like that for a little while. Even my uncle tried to take me in, but he had no room to keep me. So he let me stay in a shed in his backyard. And again, wintertime. So I had to get little heaters, try to stay warm. So tried to survive. And back then I met my ex-wife, who pretty much took me in for a little while. Then I got a job, tried to get back on my feet a little bit. And when that all happened, I was literally at McDonald's, Burger King, blue collar industry.
I never worked at Burger King. I worked at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Got fired.
Yeah.
And the lady told me that, hey, we don't do things at McDonald's that way. You might want to go across the street for Burger King. But I didn't go to Burger King. But I feel you at McDonald's, brother.
They didn't want you to have it your way, huh?
No.
Certainly not. So pretty much I've had every job under the book. I've been a tire mechanic, again, blue collar industry, fast food, and a lot of temp to hire jobs from temp agencies. And I was basically trying to climb the corporate ladder, as they say. But it was every 2 to 3 months I would get either laid off, or they basically wanted me to work I was getting paid, $30, $40 an hour for pennies. Yeah. And I just felt really I knew I was worth way more than that, even before my entrepreneur journey. I was I'm not worth no $7, $8, $10 an hour. This is, in my opinion, this is just bullshit, man. I still sucked it up because it's just what I had to do. It's all I knew, at the end of the day. And really to speed up, it wasn't until March 4th, 2012. I was back on Twitter back in the day. Somebody sent me a tweet, and it looked like spam. I clicked on it. He had a link, sent me to a website And I was like, what is this? Make $200-300 a day. What is this scammy looking website? What is this? It's just got a picture of him as a girl talking about making money. Nevertheless, my skepticism didn't stop me from calling him because he had his phone number on the website. Probably one of the best things that I ever did, right? I called him. He was like, hey, I'm out with my girl right now. Let's talk a little later. We connected. And it was basically back then, before I started this Amazon business, I started with CPA, cost per acquisition, basically driving traffic to offers and getting paid an affiliate commission to refer people to, a service, like a free trial, Netflix, Blockbuster, whatever the case was back then. So I did that for a little while, felt like quitting after the 4th, 5th day and doing it. I was like, you can't make money with this shit, Like I was like, I didn't know, but I was doing everything. I was actually starting to tap into, Google and how to drive traffic, how to get leads, how to, get people in front of these offers. And I was literally working 18 to 20 hours a day. Because at that point, I started connecting also with other like-minded entrepreneurs. And I seen other people making the money. I was like, wow, these people, I'm only used to 18, 20K a year max. And these people are talking about them making 100,000, 200,000 from the internet. Like, this just seems far-fetched, you know what I mean? But again, my skepticism didn't stop me. So long story short, I did that for a little while, stumbled across network marketing, multi-level marketing. And there was a company and they're like, oh, just go all in, buy all products, a service that will teach you how to market whatever niche you're in, whether you're in real estate, whether you're trying to drive traffic. And I was like, okay, that's kind of what I've been trying to look
Teach you how to market.
Correct.
That's the hustle.
Correct.
That's the hustle. It wasn't about anything else. You're going to learn how to market. That right by itself, that's like $1 million skill.
Correct. And so for me, I jumped all in. I basically maxed out all my credit cards and to buy all their products. Now, keep in mind, at that time, my ex-wife was expecting our child, who my daughter's 7.
Bad timing.
And again, she was like 3-4 months away from being born. And I told my ex-wife, I was like, I need to max out these credit cards. I need to buy these products and service. She's like, we have a kid coming up in like 3-4 months, right? I said, exactly why I need to do it. It's more motivation for me to try to make something out of myself before this kid is born, because like, we're already still kind of broke. I'm making a little bit of money with this internet stuff. And again, at that time, I thought it was just temporary, just income. So I dived in. They started having events, they had an event like 3-4 months out. I even spent money to go to that event. And that was going to be a couple months after my daughter was born. And I bought a ticket to go to this event too. My ex-wife was like, look, dude, I'm going to leave your ass. Like, I love you, but like, I can't, I'm trying to support you, but you're spending all this money that we don't have like really, a pot to piss in at this point. So I invested the money. I bought the money to go to the event, and it was life-changing. The event changed my life. Again, this was a couple months after. I was working on that craft. I was working on the information that they gave me.
But did she leave you or did she not leave you?
No, she did not leave me.
Okay. She threatened.
She threatened, and she knew that I'm a Leo, so I'm naturally stubborn. And she knew I was going to do whatever I wanted anyways. I told her at the end of the day, this is for the family.
Yes.
It's not like I'm going out, buying designer stuff or this and that. I'm actually going out trying to better our family's life and secure our future.
Yeah, makes sense.
So again, soon as after I bought all the products, I got to work. I was working 16 to 18 hours a day at that point, watching the content, trying to apply the content, failing on my face, wanting to smash my laptop probably about 8 to 10 times a day because like I just felt like, okay, I'm not getting this, or I am kind of getting it, but it's not working. I'm not getting the results because I still kind of had the microwave mentality. So I also started listening to Tony Robbins, Eric Thomas. I started listening to the motivational stuff to kind of, keep the skin in the game, so to speak. Shortly after, again, my daughter was born. I'm still working on my businesses. 3 months later, I went to the event, and I'm hearing people making $100,000 a month, like on stage, showing these big checks and this and that. And I'm just like, this can't be real life, you know what I mean? Because again, I couldn't grasp how I was making $18,000, $20,000 a year, potentially at my highest, and we got people talking about them making $100,000 a month. Yeah. I couldn't see myself doing that.
Your mind rejects it. Your mind was like, nah, that's not even possible.
It didn't seem realistic.
I know exactly what you mean.
Didn't seem realistic, at least to me at that point. But at the same time, it was like, these people are able to do it. So let me keep diving into the training. Within I'd say 4 or 5 months after that event, like I started really making $5,000 to $10,000 a month consistently. And I wouldn't say it was just from the event. Obviously, it was from the knowledge I have from the stuff that I bought and the fact that I started surrounding myself with more like-minded people. I mean, they really do say you are the people you surround yourself with. You hang out with 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th one, you know, and vice versa on a successful person.
So true.
So I did that for about 18, 20 months. And then they started changing stuff up to the company that made me like, I can't do this anymore.
It's always like that. As soon as you start making some money, there's always a change in the way you get paid.
Yeah, change the way you get paid, the platform, the services, the products. And it just got really weird to me to the point where I was still, at that point, I was making about $10,000 to $20,000 a month consistently in profit. And I was like, I got to tap out. I got to bow out of this. I don't want to be any part of the company anymore. A lot of other people started leaving too. And then I was looking for other ways to make money online. I was looking at eBay, Etsy, just everything. And I stumbled across dropshipping. And this is where my whole journey in 2014 started.
So everybody knows, like most people know what dropshipping is.
Yeah.
But there are probably a few listeners that don't know what dropshipping is. Just for their sake, can you explain what dropshipping is?
So a lot of people are familiar with the whole buy low to sell high. So a lot of people buy from China, they sit on all that inventory and they sell it at a higher price. Dropshipping is actually reverse and it's a little bit smarter, where you actually sell a product at a higher price first. So you list it on your website, eBay, Etsy, Amazon, let's say $2.99. Once somebody only buys it from like if somebody buys it off Amazon for $2.99, once they buy it, you go back directly from your supplier, ship it directly to the customer. So you have no overhead, you don't have to pre-purchase any inventory, and it's basically like printing money. So you're just basically taking the fact is that you're not sitting on $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 of inventory and hoping to sell it in the next 6 months.
Wow, it's genius. So you don't have any upfront inventory.
No.
You know, you have all the upside of owning a business and none of the downside.
Correct. I mean, there is, with selling on like either platform like eBay or Amazon, they do have their own structure where they might hold your funds for a couple of days or 2 weeks with, like, say, Amazon, but that's guaranteed money. That's already coming back. So when people say, well, you're still kind of fronting the money, it's like, if I told you to plant $10 one day and in 2 weeks that $10 turned into 20, how often would you find that $10?
As many times as I can.
Exactly, because basically it's guaranteed money at that point. So I stumbled across dropshipping on eBay. I believe it was something I bought a product on there. It came from a supplier that I'm like, I didn't pay $399 for this. Like, you know, I paid a different price. And I started looking into it. I'm like, all right, so they're doing something. They're being a capitalist of some sort.
Yeah.
And I started looking online. I even tried to message them. They never messaged me back. So they probably either didn't want to tell me or whatever the case was. And this was on eBay before I even did anything with Amazon. And I started looking, and then I started learning about the words dropshipping, trying to figure out what it was. Yeah. And I initially started with eBay before I transitioned over to Amazon. I did eBay for probably about 3 to 4 months before I made my move over to Amazon. Mm-hmm. I realized that eBay's traffic was great, but Amazon is a whole different level. It's a whole different beast. It's a different machine. Yeah. But I had to get different with Amazon because Amazon had its own different structure of rules.
It's a whole different league, different rules, whole different world.
Whole different thing.
Now, how do you said you were selling stuff on eBay?
Correct.
Like what stuff? How do you find stuff? I mean, if somebody's right now, a lot of young people are like listening to this, say, oh, I want to do that. I want to start drop shipping. How do you know what to sell?
So,
and how do you know how to price it?
So, with Amazon specifically, like, we have tools, we have plugins, we have things that identify what is already selling and what is hot now. And it's already going to be based on what the competitive sellers are already selling it for. Nice. So if we notice that a seller's selling it for $3.99 and we can get it from one of our suppliers for $1.99, we know that there's that markup, and we know that that item is already currently selling, and we could sell it for that price too. So there's no need to play how low can you go at that point or try to compete with them. We could sell it for the same price another competitor will sell it for if there's room for markup.
Wow.
And not everybody on Amazon like shops around. There's like probably 50, 100 million people.
I didn't even know there was such a thing as shopping around on Amazon.
Yeah.
So just right now, you know what I mean? Like, because I see it, I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? I don't go in there. I didn't think like, I shop around when I'm going from a store to a store.
Of course.
But I don't shop around on the same store. And Amazon, we think of it as one store, but it's so many different stores inside of it. So so when I'm on Amazon, I didn't even think of now. Maybe I should.
There's so many buyers that come onto Amazon, and even big corporate companies do drop shipping on their own. Walmart drop ships sometimes with certain things. Jet.com, they do their own form of drop shipping themselves. And this model has been around for 20 something years, man.
You know something, Tommy? The other day, if I'm not mistaken, I think we ordered formula from Amazon and Walmart shipped it. It was like kind of like I was tripping out. I don't know if I was I was tired or like that. I'm like I don't know what was going on. So the world now is not round; the world is flat.
Yeah.
And if, for example, Amazon doesn't have it, but Walmart has it, but Amazon sells it first.
Yeah.
Then they're just like, I don't know, but it's crazy.
There's also a good chance that you bought it from a third-party seller that might have been a drop shipper. Might have been one of my clients' stores. You never know.
See, you guys.
You never know.
Man,
so
at
the end of the day, not everybody shops around. Not a lot of people really care. People like convenience.
So true.
So
100%.
like even for me, I personally don't like to shop around. I see it, I like it, I buy it. And it's not that like because I have the money or this and that. It's because I want to save my time.
Yes.
I want to save the precious time that I have, and spent shopping around to try to save $5 is just not worth my time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, or 10 or whatever the case is. But that's initially how I got started. And since 2014, I've been doing this exact model on Amazon. I currently have my own stores. And for years after I really perfected it, it took about a year and some change for me to feel comfortable to even tell everyone I was doing it, right? Because I don't like to put stuff out there that I wasn't personally doing myself, right? So I did it for about a year and some change. I had my own team at the point, like the same person that I'm using now, my manager. They were running some aspects of my stores and this and that. And I realized as I started slowly putting it on my social media accounts, and people actually seeing that I've been doing this for a while and they seen proof, I started to open the doors for coaching after about a year and some change. And little by little, I started coaching. A lot of people were taking action. A lot of people bought the coaching and never did a thing.
They were too busy.
Yeah,
they were too busy.
Too busy.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. A lot of times, like I'll buy a program and I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing, but I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah, of course.
I don't feel like doing it. I'm too busy. I got businesses to run. I got kids. I'm so busy. And I know, for me, it's always like, okay, I understand the technical part, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I want somebody to do it. So I have to go out there, hire somebody, be like, hey, read this course and I want you to do this.
Yes.
So is that how you came up with your solution?
Once I did the coaching after a while and I realized how many people weren't actually doing the business model that I was teaching, even though a lot of people were, after probably about a couple of years, I was like, I'm kind of sick of doing the coaching. I love the results that clients are getting, or should I say students?
The clients who were actually implementing,
correct.
But you hated the ones that weren't implementing because you're like, dude, I'll just give you the blueprint to go out there and make unlimited money passively, and you're just sitting on it not doing something.
Correct.
So you saw, and you probably asked them, hey, why are you not doing it?
I asked a lot of people back then, like, what is the downfall? I just had a new kid, I got 2 jobs,
Same,
I'm busy, this is just what it is. That's when the idea popped in my head about automation. I knew I already had a manager back then to run my own stores. So I was like, and I talked to him, I'm like, what if we build a system where it would be similar to property management? People buy, multifamily units, houses, and they hire management to do the stuff that they don't want to do. So I was like, what if we could do that same concept for our clients? What if people paid us, we run the stores for them, Amazon pays them every 2 weeks, and they create basically a passive stream of income from Amazon, from our efforts. They can work another job, they can run another business, and that's where the idea came from. Now, obviously, like any new business coming up, it wasn't easy, still trying to figure out the in and outs, sheets, numbers, making sure clients have access to this, that, so they can see their profit loss, whatever the case is. But as it started coming out, we started getting clients. We obviously went through our own roadblocks as far as growth. It actually grew really fast. As soon as I even talked about it on social media, I had like 5 to 10 people who already knew that I was already doing Amazon. So I already had the credibility. It was just now expanding into a different aspect of Amazon. So a lot of people just came out, and I was like, oh, like, where are these people getting this? They just told me that they couldn't afford my coaching, but now they have money to pay more for a service. So it's not that people couldn't afford it, it's that people didn't see the value in paying for something they might not have time to do, so they now are paying for a service where we have all the expertise. Not going to really use the word guru or anything, I don't even like that word personally, but we have the expertise to be able to run a store for people, and they could spend more time with their families.
Nice.
So, like, to me, this service is, this is just one of my streams of incomes that I offer.
I love it. But I have a question right now. So let's just say you just signed up 10 people they want you to build their Amazon store and run their Amazon store
Correct.
and all that kind of stuff. And you said you can figure out what's hot, what's not, right?
Correct.
You can figure out what's selling on Amazon and all that. So based on that, you know what's selling, what is not selling, and then you make a recommendation to them.
Not to the client, no, because it's hands off.
Okay.
Once they do the initial setup, like, they have to send us logins, they have to put their credit card on file with the supplier so that we can obviously process orders, and they have to do a few other steps before we initially start their store, and obviously create an Amazon account because we don't have access to their address and social security. Yeah. Once they do the initial setup that we ask, basically it's literally hands off. The only thing that people might have to do is, one, they can check that they get paid, they can check their numbers.
No, but what about product selection?
Oh no, we handle all that. My team that we have, like my VAs, should I call them, they find the products and they do the listing. They handle the orders, they handle the customer support, they handle everything from A to Z. So everything is literally legit hands off. So anything that you would be doing yourself, handling the returns, handling the customer service, shipping products out, entering tracking numbers, everything that you would be doing, we're doing.
That's awesome. So you guys pick what products that that you sell for them.
Correct.
And so basically you guys have a lot of testing and tweaking and figure out what's going on and all and all that kind of stuff. So have you had any store? Obviously we know sometimes stores get shut down and all that, Amazon. But how do you have any store not make money?
We've had a few. Currently we have around 400 clients, and that's in the period almost a couple years. For a little while, I even stopped accepting clients so that we could focus on just growing the stores. Yeah. Suspensions are part of Amazon. If you got, like, I have one client today. He messaged me on the way here. This guy is making about $7,000 to $8,000 a month, pure profit, like net, and he's been in for about 6 months. With me, and he already had an established store, meaning like it already sold stuff before he gave it to us. So he shaved off time for us to be able to scale it, because you can't grow too fast on Amazon because Amazon has stuff called the buy box. So out of all the stores that we have, and I might be jumping back here, but we've had about 30 to 35 stores actually get suspended in that time. We've gotten about 24 to 25 stores back because Amazon lets you appeal them. And out of those suspensions, the rest of the people, they just went on, made a new entity, new LLC, and they made a new Amazon account, and their stores are running fine. So as far as no stores back, no, but some stores have taken longer to make their investment back from what I averagely tell people that it could take. So where I might tell people, hey, it might take, like I used to tell people 9 to 12 months has been an average, but people took that word as average as 9 to 12 months as it was a guarantee. So I kind of really shifted from saying 9 to 12 months to really telling people, hey, this could take 12 to 18 months, because just like any brick and mortar business or any franchise, it takes time to establish credibility on Amazon and to earn these customers' trust with feedback, having the right products and stuff like that. So I currently tell people 12 to 18 months just to let people know that this is a long-term passive income.
Yeah. So why wouldn't you're making all these passive incomes for people.
For clients.
Right? And obviously there's management fees and all that.
Of course.
And all that, as it should be.
Of course.
But why not you own them all?
Own everyone?
Yeah, like you won't just like
I get that question a lot.
No, does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
It's almost like,
question.
it's almost like, you're I love it, you're helping others make passive income, but I would have been like, well, if this guy's making this much, why not just do, because you're setting everybody up to make money, you get a little bit out of it, why not make all of it?
So I get that question a lot. So there's 2 reasons to that. One, I have 6 stores of my own. So I already do. If I were to have 400 stores, that means I would need 400 different bank cards, banks, entities, LLCs. And then really the second thing is, when you're building a personal brand, you can't build a personal brand unless you're actually putting stuff out there for people to be able to build a personal brand. So selling on Amazon, if I were to have 400 stores myself, who am I helping?
Yeah, you.
I'm not helping anybody. For me, I get, well, obviously this isn't like a nonprofit organization, so of course I got to get paid for my time and for my expertise. 100%. But I enjoy generally helping people and creating a passive income. So I have about 6 stores myself, and they've been running smooth. Like I probably had a couple new stores probably within the last year and a half that have added more to my portfolio. So whether I had automation or not, I would have my own stores, and actually 1 or 2 of them have been shut down in the past, and we were able to fight and get them back. Okay. It's just the nature of the beast.
What does your average student make?
Client?
Yes, clients. I'm sorry.
I think my highest client right now is doing about $36,000 a month profit.
Wow.
He's had a store though for about 4 years, and when you already have a store that has already that much feedback and it's already got that much history, you can do a whole lot more. Plus his capital to play with was like over $250,000. So he had the capital to expand, because you have to front the money for at least 2 weeks. So before Amazon repays you back. So if someone's paying for my service, my costs, and then they're like, hey, I only have another $10,000 to play with, you're not gonna make $36,000 a month profit. You could get there in time, but the more capital someone has to play with, at least on an available credit, obviously, the more ultimately we can make them.
And you said on the average, for you to be able to break even and get, and all that.
Their full return.
Well, would be about what, 12 to 18 months?
12 to 18 months.
Just like a regular business.
Just a regular business.
But without all the risk and overhead.
Huh?
Without all the risk and overhead and leases and insurances and all that kind of stuff.
I've had many clients make it back in anywhere between 4 to 7 months. But as I've always said, it's like I don't feel right saying that it's going to be 4 to 7, because if it doesn't happen, I'm never going to hear the end of it.
100%.
So if it happens, if it under promise, over deliver is what I believe in. So if it happens sooner, great. If it doesn't, you understand that this is at least a year and a half before you recoup the full investment. And with as many clients as I have a lot of happy clients. I have had, through the whole time of doing this, clients who expected to make all their money back in 3 to 6 months. Like you do realize, even a traditional business, you're not going to make X, Y, and Z back that fast. And obviously I have a legal contract that people have to view, give it to attorney, sign, whatever. And obviously I have a sales video that breaks down everything. And I try to be as transparent as possible, so we can weed out the people who understand that this isn't for people who just want to make a quick buck. This is something I'm trying to keep expanding, trying to keep growing, opening offices, customer service phone numbers. I'm just keep trying to expand this to a whole new level.
So as you grow, so you have 400 clients right now, that you run their store. Let's just say, you start expanding, and one day you have 4,000. Right? Let's just say that. This is a possibility.
Okay.
It's 4,000. Aren't you just creating more competition for each client?
No, because you could have a couple million sellers on Amazon, but they average, I believe it's anywhere between 60 to 80 million buyers a month. So you could never, and plus all the new products that come into the marketplace every single day.
Got it, because there's plenty of new products and plenty of new things and all that.
Plenty of new products, plenty of buyers. As far as saturation, again, I've been doing this for so long. When I started this in 2014, I've heard people, it's just going to be saturated by, it's going to get saturated. But Amazon's only grown 10 times more, and there's been 10 times new products, and it's just not slowing down.
Got it.
Amazon's trying to literally dominate every single marketplace. They've already put out a lot of big brick and mortar businesses.
They have.
So like for me, this has been, to see the journey from where Amazon has come to when I even started doing it it's just been amazing just to see what
So the
doing.
growth in the customer base and the traffic and all the new products that are coming in, there's plenty to go around and be able to do that.
Correct.
That makes total sense.
You can't really saturate, and even with clients, every client's going to come in here with a different capital to play with. Like I said, some clients come in here and they got $100,000 on a credit card ready to go after they pay for my service. Some clients come in here only with $15,000, and that's fine too. But I tell people, the more you have available, once we can start scaling, the better that we can.
And it's not that money that's going. It's not even that money that's going to you. That money's going to the products.
Correct. So basically, they're fronting the cost. So, if somebody wants to do hypothetically $100,000 a month in revenue, on their store in a 30-day period, I usually tell them to try to have at least $60,000 to $70,000 available credits. If they don't expect to hit $100,000 in revenue. We could do 40, 30, 60, and you could still make good profit margins because you don't have to have you don't have to have higher revenue to have good profit.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so how much does it cost? Let's just say I'm interested. Let's just say I want to open up my own Amazon store, and I want your team to be able to do that. What are the costs involved?
So my initial cost currently is $25,000. Okay. So outside of that, I tell people for available credit to have at least, my team usually does all that for me now at that point, but we tell people to have at least 15 to 20,000 accessible credit on a credit card almost at all times to play with. Maybe not all times, but before Amazon's paying you, because I've run into so many situations with clients where
they couldn't fulfill.
Oh, they're like, dude, I just ran out of $15,000 in the last week and a half. We got to pause your store. Now, pausing your store can cause all kinds of complications. It could late shipments, orders. Now your store could get suspended because of all this. So I try to tell people, please be careful when you tell me to scale your store if you financially can't scale it on that level. So outside of that, I would say at least 45 grand, and then we charge $300 a month for the VAs. I pay the cost for people, for my clients, and then they reimburse me once a month to pay for the VA cost. So $300, and then when they get to a certain point, usually 90 days to 4 months, we transition that $300 to a 30-70 split. So that, because now more people have to work on that client's store, so that means more people have to get paid out. I don't get any other cut outside of the $25,000. So if they're making, let's say, $10,000 net profit, besides any cash back, besides any points, like pure profit in the bank, if they make $10,000, they're gonna pay the team $3,000, and they're keeping $7,000 for themselves. So again, that's net, and they didn't lift a finger. Like the guy I was talking about earlier, he's been in for about 6 months. The guy's pretty much made his investment back in a 6-month period. But again, he already sold on that store, so he shaved off 3 months, which it takes on Amazon to get what we call the buy box. Having that automatically can shave off somebody's scaling time substantially. So, he's been in already for a little while, and he's already has plenty of credit to play with. So we haven't really run into issues, but like I said, credit will determine everything. So
love it. And what other venture you're doing right now? I know you're working on some other exciting new things.
Yes.
So I know you're always thinking about, always pushing ahead. So what's the next thing you're working on right now?
As far as this current company, my automation business?
Any company or anything.
So I'll get to, really the upgrades that I'm doing with this business model in a sec, but I have, in Florida, I have one of my buddies that owns a cryo chambers. Mm-hmm. Basically, you go in, I'm sure you know what those are. He owns that. They do IVs, they do, cryo boots, for massaging. And I'm basically the investor. We're opening up another location where he'll have the infrared sauna, he'll have the IVs, he'll have the chambers, he'll have cryo skin, he'll have a bunch of stuff. So I'm the investor for that. And that's going to be really big because that current one that he has already really done really well in the first year and some change at that location. So I'm the investor on that, so I'm super excited to bring that to the market. You're
thinking about maybe franchising it or scaling that business?
He doesn't really like the word franchising. He likes the word umbrella in, which to me feels the same, almost like all under one company type of deal. But yes, the goal would be to expand it to one of the areas over there in Lakewood Ranch, and to expand it in multiple other areas as obviously time goes on. And he's got a 5 to 6 year plan, because where cryo's going, it's like a $20-30 billion company in the next 4 to 5 years. So we got that, and recently in the last about 4 to 5 months, I've invested a couple $1 million into multifamily apartments. It's about 250 units currently that I have.
Nice.
So I have that as well.
In any particular states are you looking at?
For the multifamily, those are all in Ohio, Cincinnati.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, those are where you get the most amount of cash flow.
Yeah, they need some work. Some of them, some of the money I put out was for fixing it, repairing it, and then obviously, like anything else, raising the rent once we obviously include it and fix it all up. So that's really exciting news for me too. And as far as my current company, like the automation side of the business, I'm currently opening up a new office, because most of my office consists of in Bangladesh, where my team is at. Yep. So we are opening up an office here in the States with an operations manager, phone support, because right now I have a Facebook group, but I also have email support. But we've grown so much that we've outgrown email support, and it's just too busy. Yeah. So we want to create phone support so people can dial in, ask questions about their store, or put something in there. And then we have a portal as well that people are going to be able to communicate, add their credit card, change their credit cards. So we're trying to really expand because of where we're at now. I still feel like a small fry, and I'm just trying to keep growing this business to a level that my clients expect.
Yeah.
And I think in this business, I think one of my biggest complaints has been, especially in the last 6 months, or maybe even less actually, is sometimes the customer support doesn't get back to them in the timely fashion that I've told people. So to me, I was like, okay, let me listen to them, because they say sometimes, and they're not even my worst clients, but they say sometimes your angriest clients are your best lessons.
Yeah, it's true.
Because you can learn from it, you can grow from it, you can make it better, you can make more people happy, and you can keep growing and scaling, man. I'm just trying to get to your level, man.
Man, no, you're doing it, man. I'm telling you right now, man. Yeah, you're definitely on your way.
Trying.
I'm how old are you?
32.
Yeah, man. I wasn't nowhere near, where you were at 32. So you're gonna be way past me. I'm 46, so I have a few years on you, man. Now, that's exciting news. But you got the business life, going. And I know, I had a failed marriage. I think, because, business was slow and I was working all the time. I wasn't paying attention to her. And when I was coming home, I was just like ignoring her. It's like, I didn't feel like talking. It was kind of a depressed mode because I was on the verge of losing everything, And so how are you doing with, obviously now with, your love life, your personal life and all that kind of stuff?
Oh man, I don't know. My love life is, I'm not gonna say it's non-existent. It is, but to me, I have a hard time trying to find somebody who has the goals and ambition and the drive that I have.
Yeah.
It's really hard because a lot of people out there just want to be handed things.
Yeah.
Or if they know you make money, they might think you're, a come up.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So, I've done my serial dating, so to speak, but for me, I'm like really picky on like who I'm looking for, the goals and the ambition and the drive. Like to me, I find that probably even more sexy than the physical body.
So
what I mean?
True, bro. So true. And, when you were younger, it's all about, oh my God, like
look how great she looks.
Look how great it looks. Look at her body and things like that. And now, as you get older and you become more mature and wise, it's all about what kind of conversation can she hold, and how can she, is her character and her drive and her ambition that makes her, it's crazy because you're so young and you realize that.
Yeah, I used to think, even with the Instagram models and all these other girls, you think they look attractive, at least to me, but then when I hear them think, not so much.
Yeah.
Mindset is everything. Also, I have 2 kids. So I'm looking for more than just eye candy. I mean, yeah, that's great and all, but what else do you bring to the table?
Can you cook for my kids?
Yes. Can you cook? Can you clean? Can you run? Can you help run a business?
Absolutely.
What are your dreams? What are your goals?
Yeah, because I know a young guy like you who's very successful. Obviously, you have access to you're not scrambling to find a date.
Yeah.
It's just finding the right person, that kind of stuff. It's going to be tough, man. And I wish you best of luck. But
appreciate that.
What I've learned, with what happened to me was that I just committed to becoming the best version of myself in every way, whether it was physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. I just started just focusing on me and my children. And when I did that, all of a sudden out of nowhere, the best person for me appeared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I keep hearing that. Just focus on you.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. And one of my mentors, said this a long time ago. He goes, Sam, you can lose a lot of money chasing women, but you never lose women chasing money.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
I like
so so that's something that I regard, and at the end of the day, become the best version of you. And I think that person comes, man.
Yeah.
I know you didn't expect that question.
No, it's. I mean, I just kind of got out of a relationship of a couple months, and I kind of thought like it was really going somewhere. She was older, like 38, so I thought, okay, maybe a little more mature, and But again, I'm not going to dive too much into that, but obviously didn't work out for like reasons. It just wasn't what I thought, you know? Then I started thinking, damn, Tinder might be a good look right about now. You know what I mean? Maybe Bumble, who knows? But
hey, don't laugh. My brother-in-law and his wife met on Bumble.
Hey,
you know, it's crazy.
Man.
Like I'm saying, all right, but I don't know which app is which, but you never know. But however, man, you know, it's like you're gonna find somebody when you least expect it.
Yeah.
When you look, it's like kind of like when you lose your glasses or your keys. Like you're looking for it all over, you can't find it, and then later on, like, oh shoot, the glass was on my head the whole time, or the key was always in my pocket the whole time.
Yeah,
you know
that
what
makes
I mean?
sense. I like that.
And it's gonna come, man. I know I saw, I was doing my research on you, and I saw your kids on Instagram, and I saw everything. I'm like, oh, we have the same roles. We have 2 kids. You know, it didn't work out in my first marriage, and I was like, oh my God, so we had that in common.
Yeah, it's something that even, like I said, recently, I've just, like, a lot of my friends who are, like, really good in my circle, people who genuinely care for me, are like, bro, you just focus on you, stop dealing with these crazies, and just focus on you, and I promise it will come. You don't need to, like, look hard for it. You know what you bring to the table. You're a good father, you're successful, you know, go to the gym, you do this, you do all that. It's like, so for me, it's like kind of what you said. I'm just really just trying to focus on myself, and if somebody comes along and they can show me, like, you know, they have more than just body and they got some brains, and, you know, they, again, maybe cook or clean or something else. You know, I'm not looking for, like, necessarily a housewife, but, you know, somebody who can bring something more to the table than just the physical attributes. You know what I mean? So no rush for me. I'm still, you know, almost halfway to 60. I'm good, you know? Oh,
you're way good, man. You're way good. You know, you're young. You know, you're a good-looking guy. You know, you're successful. You have the whole, you know, at this age, you have, you know, it's yours to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So is anything that we haven't covered here that you want to talk to, or anything that you want to tell our listeners, or the point that you want to make before we wrap this up?
I mean, you know, I guess.
What advice do you have for young entrepreneurs right now? So
throughout my years, I've realized, again, like I said, you just really got to surround yourself with more like-minded people. You know, my guy Sam over here, I come here and, you know enough about him. But I come here and I'm like, I need to level up more. You know, like, so to me, this is, you know, you got to surround yourself with people who are doing as good as you or even more, just so that, you know, it keeps you hungry, right? So if you can't find them, if you don't have any friends that are, you know, trying to accomplish anything in life, you probably need to get some new friends. Go to networking events, go to, you know, real estate events, and just start networking with people who are looking for more, right? And then, you know, find your niche, find whatever it is that you're trying to do, and just really stay consistent. I've lived by a couple words for the last almost 8 years of being entrepreneurs. If you're not consistent and you're not persistent, then you're non-existent.
Love it.
So you just got to make sure that whatever it is you're doing. That's the same thing with, you know, working out. You know, I go to the gym.
If you're not consistent, if you're not persistent, you're non-existent.
Correct.
I love that. I think I'm going to steal that from you and post it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And to me, it's just been a roller coaster ride. And through these last 8 years, you know, I've spent money, I've lost money, and I've also learned to not be emotionally attached to the money at the same time. Money comes and goes. Money comes and goes, and you know, I've done investments, 50 grand, 100 grand, and maybe I didn't do always my due diligence, and I lost it. Yeah, but then, you know what, I would do something else, and I would make my money back, and
you just learn from it.
You learn from it, you grow from it, and you realize, okay, I'm never doing that shit again. You know what I mean? So just make sure that you guys, whoever's watching this, just stay consistent. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it's social media, whether you're a marketing agency, whether you're trying to physically get in shape, you know, you just got to make sure that when you don't feel like doing it, that's probably the time that you need to be doing it. So, I mean, it's worked for me. I'm nobody special. I'm just a kid from Boston that just was hungrier than the average person. Yeah,
you didn't give up.
I wanted to. Like, I really did. There was a lot of times I just wanted to throw in the towel. There's times where I've cried, where I was like, you know, damn, I'm so freaking broke right now. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get ahead. I don't know how I'm going to feed my future kids. I can't feed myself. I can't feed any future kids. So I just realized, like I saw something that friends and family, broke family members were trying to doubt me, saying this shit's never gonna work. And here I am now. These people throughout the years have asked me for jobs, asked me for handouts. It's like, I tried 7-8 years ago. the prize is given to the visioners, not to the onlookers.
So true.
You know what I mean? So I guess that's really my advice in a nutshell. It might be all over the place, but
No, but it's great advice though.
You know.
Everything is right, right on.
But I mean, it works for me. I mean, just got to find whatever it is you're doing and just stay on point. And that's probably the best advice I can give.
Well, Tommy, I really appreciate you, man. Flying all the way from Florida to come down, man. We really appreciate you, man. And if for people who don't know who you are, they want to find out more about Amazon automation, they want to maybe, hire you to mentor them or hire you to do the Amazon store all done for them, where can they find more about you?
My main source of contact is on my Instagram, which is Trod, T-R-O-D. Again,
So not A-Rod, T-Rod.
T-Rod. You know what? When people first see it, a lot of people think it's pronounced Trod. And I'm like, no, it's T-Rod.
That's actually a really cool Instagram handle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I saw it, I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Pretty
That's
clever,
really
yeah.
good.
It was just something, and it's just been kind of catchy for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, T-Rod on Instagram, and from there, I have all my website information, stuff like that, sales video on my, my bio, and people could check that out if, they're interested. If not, and it's not for them, I really hope that maybe some of my posts give them motivation and inspiration, that if they have kids, future kids, just to keep going.
Your posts are right on point, man. I was reading through them today, man, and they're profound. You did a great job. Thank you so much, brother.
Appreciate it again, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Hey guys, if you liked today's episode, do me a huge favor. Go ahead and leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, leave me a review, and tag a few friends that you think can benefit from what we shared today. Really appreciate it. God bless.